Hello.
The End of Time.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Yes.
For the first time since classic series, it's a part
Subtitle.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time I don't even know what happened.
The Master has turned everybody in the world into him.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Donna is remembering.
Okay, the actual things that happened in the episode I do know.
Okay,
it's everything else.
The things that didn't happen in the episode, you don't remember.
No. It's my thoughts surrounding the discussion we had was...
He will knock 4 times. What is it?
He'll slam.
He will
The
slam
barrel.
4 times. He will bash 4 times.
The Time Lord's return.
Oh, is that too?
Yes, that whole thing is happening. I'm sure there's definitely some questions to be answered. I don't get to look at this. I just assume that there's not going to be anything yet. End of Time Part 2 by Russell T Davies. Oh, whoa. Okay, right. Not been here in ages. Was it meant to have been... Yeah, was it meant to have been destroyed, Gallifrey? Or just... Okay, I guess we'll find out.
Every second, lost in bloodlust and
So it's still going,
the
technically.
time itself, resurrecting them.
Oh!
I will not die! Ages, which would suggest the Doctor
It had to be.
and the Master. Maybe that's where the answer lies.
Yeah, and they've not been to Earth? I'm trying to think if they have.
Not en masse.
No, obviously, Doctor and the Master.
And the odd other one too.
27,949,338 versions of us awaiting orders.
Oh, yeah, would be.
But that's a mobile.
Who could that be?
No. I don't think you understand.
All just as bad as each other.
Oh, I'm still hungry.
Oh, this again. I was literally just thinking the Master's now back to normal. I guess not. Oh, wait. Yeah. What? Oh. Yep.
The heartbeat of a Time Lord. Listen to it. That's what your prophecy was. Me!
What?
That guard is 1 inch too tall.
Ah.
I thought I hit it.
Oh. Well. There we go. That's why you have them. That's why they're in the episode. One thing at a time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that. Yeah, they haven't got a ramp.
Oh my goodness me. We're in space!
Oh, so we are.
But we're in space!
Yeah, you've seen it plenty of times.
We're not leaving.
Yeah, that. I mean, I get what you're trying to do, Doctor, but that's probably not the best idea.
Nice little bit of the old Doctor. Flim flam. Sort of thing. Like. Oh, blimey. Someone could only have designed this. No.
And implanted in the Master's mind as a child.
Then we have a link.
Huh.
The Master is right now. We need
So it's
something to
one
make
big
contact
tracking
physical.
device.
It's a diamond, sir.
The diamond.
Oh, I think I'm lost.
And yet you were found.
I'm an astronaut. Do you think he changed them? In their graves?
Oh.
I'm sorry. No, not your fault.
Oh, wow. Never thought of that.
I'm older than you.
Get away.
I'm 906.
What's he doing? Doctor, what does that mean? The White Point Star has only found on one planet. Gallifrey.
Hmm.
The Time Lords are returning. Well, I mean, that's
Yep.
good. Tell me that you-
Oh now. Yeah, maybe he liked thinking he was the last one. No.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the only reason he's worried. No, I'm the last!
What's that?
Oh, you and that too.
Coming from us.
Well, then, big reunion, we'll have a party. There will be no party. Well, I've heard you talk about your people like they're wonderful. They're all frazzled. Consider them unfrazzled.
I was literally just thinking that he might say, well, I can unfrazzle them. He already did it.
Move. It's dead.
Fix the heating.
Consider it undead. It's now zombie ship.
Of course. And I was literally just thinking that as well. They got planets of military. Yeah. Did I secretly write this?
I think you might have done.
Oh, that's easy. Auto aim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, the missiles are auto aim as well. Probably. It's auto aim versus auto aim. When
Yeah.
aimbots collide.
I guess it's all about timing then.
Much like a joke. It's all about timing.
Oh man. Whoa! I wonder if Russell watched Star Wars before writing this. He had a marathon.
Wow!
Wow, the window's broken!
Only two stand against. And will stand as
Two
one
against
to their shame. And we begin
2,000.
We are gonna stop though. Doctor!
Oh no.
We're gonna stop.
You're gonna die.
He said what?
Oh, the theme as well.
I won't stop you, sir, but is this it?
No. Now that's determination. Oh! Ah, okay. Oh, what? What? I mean...
My Lord Doctor,
Here we go.
Lord Master.
Because now I can transplant myself into every single Time Lord. Oh yes.
Oh, no, you don't.
Mr.
Oh.
Forgot he had that power glove.
The new power glove.
Yeah. That was easy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Please, mankind.
Something is returning. Don't move and listen. That was
It's not.
prophecy, not someone, something. What is Gallifrey?
Oh!
Right here, right now.
Ah! Yeah?
There it is.
Yeah, and it's bigger than Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of
Come
Earth,
on, you should all be
it's
used
now
to this
ending
by
again.
now. You should
It's-
all be used to planets in the sky. This is
A
nothing
planet that's
new.
heading right for them.
It's happened to the moon.
The moon and Gallifrey, the scale doesn't match up.
It does if it's landing on top of you.
What? He said he was dying.
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Our creation itself ceases to be.
Is she now?
Kill him and Gallifrey could be yours. The link is broken. Back into the Time War, Rassilon. Back into hell.
Rassilon.
You die with me, Doctor.
I know.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You did this to me.
Well, Gallifrey just got rejected. I think it's safe to say.
Was there a swipe left on Gallifrey?
And the Earth is saved from another planet catastrophe.
A planetastrophe.
I'm still alive.
Yeah, after all that. Ooh. It finally happened. Oh. Oh.
Touch 1 control and it floods. Minor war.
Oh. Yeah.
It started. It's no good.
Oh yeah, Donna.
How was she fine out there? It's like that's a thing.
How's she doing?
To get my reward.
Well, he's definitely not going home. And that. Oh! Hello!
I'm being fired at by a Centauran.
Oh, okay.
You shouldn't have married me.
Ah.
Poor Martha.
Oh, perfect.
Maddest Christmas ever, Clyde. Mum still doesn't know what happened. She got Mr. Smith to put out this story saying that Wi-Fi went mad all across the world, and everyone hallucinations. I mean, how else are you going to explain it? Everyone with a different face.
Oh, gosh! Yeah! Yeah, we solved all that, trickster nonsense.
What is it? Tim! Doctor!
Oh. Oh, wow! Wow, times 3. times 4. times 5. I'm gonna stop there, but you get the idea.
I think he was watching
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah! 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 Oh, wait! Oh.
She was a nurse in 1913 and she fell in love with this man called John Smith.
Ah.
Except... for you.
Well. If you could see what he's just been through. Speaking of weddings. Huh.
Have it, he said. Have that on me.
Wait, I might get lucky. Oi, Sean! Come on, we're on a tight schedule. I'll tell Sue at 2:30. Midnight, Ricky's going to be calling me everything. This is your fault.
No, it's not. It's Jimbo. He said he was going to get us a lift, and then he said he's at.
You gotta.
I can't help. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Oh yeah, this was a New Year's version.
Anyway, Happy New Year.
And you.
Okay, so that confirms what I was thinking.
What year is this?
Oh, and that's this.
How much have you had? 2005, January the 1st.
Yeah.
2005.
On.
We will sing to you, Doctor.
You know, when we watched Planet of the Ood, I never expected, like, yeah, I never
such
expected it to
importance.
come around this way. That might change how I feel about it, I don't know. Once more.
I don't want to go.
Well, that's what's happening, it seems. No, it's... Oh man, the TARDIS is regenerating as well! Oh, who's this, huh? Yeah.
No, not just yet.
Nah. Give it a few years. You're... and sure. On it.
You just came from there.
Yeah.
Crashing back down.
Yeah. You can't leave. You just can't leave. Whoa. And introducing Matt Smith as the Doctor.
That's Doctor Who.
Oh my word. I appreciate every one of you, the effects
Oh, me too.
coordinators.
I appreciate every single person on this list.
Yeah.
You got until 15 minutes. Off you go. Do you want more?
15 minutes. I'll tell you what. I'll come in around then. It might be a bit after.
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Whoa, okay, so you've got...
And
8.
right, the
You
light
explain it.
blue 8, which I've taken from the last part and given to this.
Okay.
And the 0.5 is a grey for emotional. Like, it's not heartwarming, but it's not
No specific
depressing.
emotions.
No, but like more kind of like, I don't know, I guess if something kind of moves you in a way.
Moving.
Yeah, moving. That might be a better.
Okay.
That might be a better one. You've gone straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle, 5, neutral.
Yeah, that is as neutral as you can get.
Yeah.
You just so you.
It's better than the last part, I think.
It is better than the last part. I mean, I know I gave that one an 8, but I didn't really use the time well, or at least in the specific case, there was so much to think about towards the end that I didn't really think about the whole thing. So
Yeah, that's
last
kind of what I
one-
was thinking, yeah.
last one, not real. Don't really know, but
Okay.
but this I feel more confident about.
Okay, great. What have you got?
Basically figured it all out then. We've wrapped up the Time War thing.
Well, you say that. They came out and then they went back in again.
Yeah, well, that's putting it simply, but like, you know, we learn more about
We've
the
learned some
Time
more about
Lord's
it, yes.
part of the Time War and why the you know, in a way, why the Doctor's been so angsty.
Yeah,
You know, because he kind of feels responsible for the Time Lords.
for them dying. Well, he did. He said that's why
Well-
he had to do what he did, because of what they
Wait.
were planning.
Okay, maybe what I mean is like because of like, I guess the Time Lords, they literally say that they are willing to just destroy all of time to ascend to like the higher plane. So, Time Lords have kind of been sketchy a lot.
Oh,
So,
yes. I mean, do you remember his big old shout at them in Trial where he goes, Daleks, Cybermen, Santarans, Cybermen, you're worse than all of them.
Yeah.
How are the conspirators Daleks, Sontarans, Cybermen? They're still in the nursery compared to us.
I feel like this might be this is an extension of that. The Doctor
Yeah.
is almost like he's almost ashamed
Yes.
of being a Time Lord, and so this is kind of his way of putting that to rest in a way and stopping them from doing the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah.
The Master as well. So it turns out, yeah, the heartbeat, the drumming, all of that
They
was the
caused it.
Time Lords, yeah, tracking the Master and yeah, traumatizing him as
Yes,
a kid. It was
they
all
caused it.
because
Yeah.
of that. Yeah, they
Which you'd have
created-
thought he'd be happy about.
he
because-
was. He was. He was like, oh, destruction. That's my kind of world.
But I'd have also thought he'd be grateful for them doing that because, he'd be like, I don't know what I'd be without this noise. I wouldn't be me. It's
Well,
almost the way I got the impression that I got from that was that he had grown to almost love it. He knows that it's the cause of insanity, but I don't think he could bring himself to not have that. So I'm a little confused as to why he's so mad at the Time Lords for doing that to him.
Well, I mean, more recently he has been more tormented by it. Like or at least it's been more overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd maybe appreciate a little more, a little more build up to that. When I find whoever's done this, I'm looking for whoever's done this to me. This is, it doesn't seem like he's tormented by it. It seems like he's mildly annoyed by it and is using it to drive his own insanity. It's fuel.
They could have used the last episode to explore that a bit.
Yeah, I think they could have done.
Yeah, that absolutely. Yeah. This has been weird. The end of time's been weird because this part 1 that's like really
It really
kind of,
doesn't have much to do with part 2.
yeah, reflecting on it, it's so, and now that I've seen the last part, they're so different.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them is insane ideas, the show, and then this one feels more like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
does.
the Master felt more in character.
He does, and I love the conversation that they have, where at the very beginning of the episode, where the Doctor's strapped up and he's saying,
Yeah,
you can see the universe. There's a very, you don't have to take over it to experience it and own it. You can see it, and that's ownership enough.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about how wonderful the Master could be if he wasn't so destructive, and it just reminded me. There's a very similar conversation and scene in Colony in Space,
Right.
where the Master's there's the Doomsday weapon, and the Master's trying to actually convince the Doctor that you could, if you had this Doomsday weapon, you could solve all evil. And the Master actually trying to convince the Doctor to take the Doomsday weapon.
Oh. Right.
But it reminded me of a conversation where the Doctor says,
I want to see the universe, not rule it.
I guess kind of on that subject, the story's kind of about, with great power comes great responsibility. Not exactly. Not exactly that, but like, the fact that the Time Lords, they do have all of this power, and yet the Doctor chooses to do good with it, in contrast to pretty much every other Time Lord. That's kind of what I got from this episode. And the fact that we see everyone again from from New Who, which I don't know how many times I can say that because we're like years into it now. That's all like a reminder. Look at all the people the Doctor's saved and, changed the lives of. I did think for a second that it was another look how great the Doctor is story, but here it kind of feels deserved. Like, if, this feels more like it feels more resonant because it is the 10th Doctor's last, and it's like a reflection on all of that.
where was the hero worship in this one? I think this is
No,
one of the
no, I'm
ones where it
saying
wasn't.
I'm saying that it wasn't.
Oh,
I'm
it
saying that for a
specifically wasn't.
second I thought it was.
But it's not.
But it isn't actually in the way we've been talking about it. But it's more of... Yeah, because that's when, like, characters are saying, oh, how great is the Doctor? But no,
Wilf
here,
did a
like...
bit. Wilf was doing it a bit.
Wilf,
But
yeah, I
not,
suppose.
yes. Yeah, it's not as prevalent in this one.
Yeah, but the idea is more so that, like, you can actually see that all of the good the Doctor has done.
Yeah, it's a summary, and I don't know. I kind of got to about 20 minutes before the end when we first see that the Doctor's... We'll get onto the whole knock 4 times thing in a bit, but...
Oh, yes.
After that, I'm kind of looking at the time and thinking, we have another 20 minutes of goodbyes to get through before this episode ends.
And you've seen this
And
before.
I've seen it, yeah.
I haven't, so I did not feel that way.
No, but that's how I felt, because I knew it was coming, but...
Yeah,
half of
obviously.
those could go, honestly. We had the same thing in Journey's End. We've just done it.
It was like a deluxe version of Journey's End.
The one I did like was the Sarah Jane one. All of the other ones I like, why? But the Sarah Jane one I really liked because she knows regeneration. She's the only one that's seen it.
Yeah.
Even Rose there doesn't know what it is yet.
No.
Sarah Jane knows exactly what was going to happen.
There's the history behind it.
Yeah.
That's why.
I like that one. Bit too soon after Journey's End, I think, for me.
I can understand that. Again, considering the time frame, this was New Year's
Day.
Yeah.
So it'd have been a year and a bit afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, and again, we only watched that like a couple months ago or something. So it may not have felt kind of like that.
Maybe
then.
not. At the same time, we did a big goodbye then. I don't think we need to do another big goodbye. It's called Journey's End.
They all had a bigger part in that story.
Yes,
as well.
they did.
They literally piloted the... Yeah, and there's
very little reason for them all to be coming back here. It's just a check-in. Just a check-in.
Yeah, one last check.
Feel really bad for Martha.
Why?
Noel Clark is a jerk.
Ah, okay.
So I guess that's not Martha, but you know,
That-
same difference.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's more so to do with the reality. I
Yeah.
guess. Oh, that's a shame.
It is a shame.
Star Wars. Yeah, Russell
There's some
must like
influences
Star
there,
Wars
yeah.
because there's definitely some influence. I mean, right, not 4 times.
So want to
So
move on to that?
all along,
It was.
it was That's another thing as well. Is the Doctor's relationship with Earth.
Yeah.
You know, and that he literally said it right at the end.
Well, are we talking about the Fornox thing still, or have we moved on?
No. We're kind of. Yeah, we are getting back to that.
Okay.
No,
I'm trying to keep up with
because
you.
yeah, the relationship with Earth, because the Doctor in the end decides to give up that
Regeneration.
that regeneration of himself to save
Well,
one person. Yeah,
like Case Trelawney for
You know-
Perry.
yeah, and again, when the Doctor was piloting the ship, you know, I was reminded of Caves. You're not gonna stop me now.
Yeah.
You know.
Except he doesn't crash.
No.
He just doesn't say that he's not going to crash. That's big. Okay. Do you mind me jumping in here at this point to talk about the character of the 10th Doctor in this? In this episode specifically.
Okay.
This is my least favourite version of the 10th Doctor. Because
Right.
he doesn't say anything to anybody. He's like, no, it'll be fine. I'm not actually going to crash. Oh, no, it'll actually be... If he just spoke a little bit, if he just told the truth sometimes here, like, it's... he's just not saying anything for dramatic
He just
effect.
found out that the Time Lords are coming back.
But why couldn't he say to Wilf, it's fine, Wilf, I'm not going to kill you right now.
Oh, it's okay. I know we're under immense amounts of pressure, but don't worry. I
He's
wasn't
just say
actually
there.
gonna...
Is it no? Wilf asks, "Is this the end?" He could just say no.
Yeah, that's true.
It would
That's
kill the
more
tension,
reasonable.
but
Yeah,
the
maybe
alternative
that's
is
it,
to
is
make
the
the alternative to killing the tension is to make the Doctor highly unlikable.
I'm not seeing it that way.
How are you seeing it?
I just didn't see it that way.
Okay, but there's a few instances of where if he just said something, if he just told the truth, why the Donna thing? Why did he bother telling them that if she remembers, she'll die? When that's blatantly not true.
Yeah, you know what? I actually forgot about that.
He's just...
There was a failsafe all along, and he didn't...
Why didn't he say, listen, if she remembers me, it's a failsafe because it means something bad's happening. Don't let her remember me unless something terrible is happening, like the Master is everybody. Why not just say it?
Why not just say that she will be fine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why worry everybody?
That's true. We all thought that as well. You know, from
it's
Journey's End.
It's the Doctor. It's the character of the Doctor lying to the audience for no more than fake dramatic effect. It just
why would you...
really irritates me. The 10th Doctor in both of these two parts.
We're not going to be seeing them anymore.
No.
So
but that's specifically these two episodes.
Yeah, but I don't know. You've always kind of said some stuff about him that
He's
certain
never been my
choices about
favourite.
him.
Yes, absolutely. He's never been like my favourite. But specifically in these two episodes, the dislike is a dislike. And I've never said that I don't think about any other Doctor, which is why he tends to be towards the bottom. Because of the blip.
Because of... Yeah.
Because no other Doctor has a blip. And it was kind of the same thing, end of Waters from Mars. It's the end of this character's story arc.
Yes.
Is the reason why he's very down at the bottom.
Because
and that's the character.
He was the... Yeah. He's dealt with a lot in his mind in the 10th Doctor. That is... Ultimately, I think that's what I'm going to remember. I mean...
the 10th Doctor... He dealt with a lot. That's what I'll say on his non-existent grave.
Past Doctors, they seem much more under control. Even when they're eccentric, you still know they kind of have that reliability.
Yeah.
Whereas here, not so much. It is different.
It's the reverse of what happens to the 6th Doctor. Because he starts out super unreliable, trying to kill his companions, and he just warms up. And and that's why he's like my favourite. Colin Baker is like always, and I shouldn't use their names because the names of the actors have nothing to do with it. It's the characters.
Yeah.
That's why I love the 6th Doctor so much. is because of where he starts and how he ends up.
Well,
And this
yeah.
is the reverse.
Yeah, okay, that I never thought about it that way, but I guess now is a good time as any to bring that
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
But what about you? You liked David Tennant straight away, and I have to admit I did as well. Going through this time, loved him at the start
Yeah.
of the era.
I mean, yeah, like, he's always... speaking of actors, David Tennant
Yes.
is always convincing at him. He's fantastic. Regardless of, the different directions the character goes in, I think he always manages to pull it off. And I think that is the second thing I'm going to remember. In those first few episodes, the amount of range he catches is just astonishing.
There's we watched the classic Doctor Who trailer thing. That like the ultimate trailers, what are they called? So there's a new Doctor Who version of it, and one of the things that they say about David Tennant is that he's the master of staring into the middle distance. And he does that a lot in this episode as well. He's master
very
of that.
Yeah, very pensive. Yeah.
Yeah. He's good at that face. He has the face that he does when he knows something is going to go wrong.
Yeah, the determined / concerned.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's this Doctor's face. At what point did you realise this was going to be his last?
I kind of felt that this may be the conclusion in general. With how big it is in terms of like scale and importance, with the everything that happens, and also just the time frame. I kind of figured that we might be.
You figured it'd be a special. Did you only realise in this, like, whilst the episode was on, or did you sort of come into this episode thinking, I think this is it?
Yeah, I think that second one possibly. Yeah.
Okay, so you sort of had a feeling beforehand. Was it something in part one?
Again, yeah, kind of just the way that it was set up, and also just kind of thinking about the, when it was released.
Oh right,
and,
okay.
like,
So more of a behind the scenes kind of. It's about time now.
Yeah, we've got a new Doctor now.
We absolutely do.
Yes, Matt Smith, and I actually do somewhat remember the beginnings of Matt Smith.
Really?
I think I may have been in for like his first 2 episodes.
This is news to me.
Is it?
Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll find out how much you know.
But yeah, I think I do vaguely remember some of the early stuff there. So we'll see. Yeah. I guess that's a question. Another question, something I didn't quite catch, is that when the Doctor kind of prevented the Time Lords from bringing back Gallifrey.
They're here. Yeah.
Yeah, to that. Like, what exactly would have happened to them then? Like,
they just went back into the final...
They just shut them out.
They've gone back into the final days of the Time War.
Oh.
So they're about to be stopped by previous like they're about to be killed by previous Doctor, I guess, along with the Daleks and everything.
Right, and I guess the Master went with them.
Yes.
Okay. Right, because he just disappears.
Yes.
So okay. Right. Yeah. Just wanted to clarify that. I can see some of your complaints, but I really did enjoy this one.
Sure, I understand it.
And I do think in a way it was a good conclusion for the 10th.
Yeah. Some things that I'd like to bring up then are one question that I have for you: who's the woman?
Yeah. Who is it?
What are your thoughts?
Could it be someone? Because it's confirmed that she's with the Time Lords.
Yes,
so
she was there.
She could possibly be a family of the Doctor, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's no answer.
There is no answer.
Russell T Davies has said the intention is sort of supposed to maybe be the Doctor's mother.
Yeah. Okay.
There are other suggestions, theories that it's Susan, that it's Romana, that it's Rodan, that it's Chancellor Flavia.
Okay, you could literally guess from a
all
lot
of the
characters.
female Time Lords. There's nothing.
Well,
Make it up.
that's
Do what you want. I don't care.
Sure, Is that it for Russell?
That's it for Russell T Davies.
He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really is the end of an era.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, the Ood, much more important than...
Yes.
Oh, yeah, than you were thinking. For me, that doesn't change Planet of the Ood. Because that...
Yeah, but it's in the back of your mind that,
Yeah.
you know, this is going to lead to something. Multiple things.
Rassilon.
Rassilon! So... Wait, so... Was Timothy Dalton's time on Rassilon?
Yes.
Wow! We just met Rassilon!
Yeah.
After hearing about his legend so many times.
Well, we saw him in Five Doctors.
He was in that.
He's the... Because they're entering the tomb. He's the... Oh, you wish for eternity?
Do you claim immortality too?
Only us will be returned to our proper place in time and space.
But
apparently now Lord President in the Time War.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it worked out, it seems, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we saw his sash. First we got the sash and then we got the glove. It's the glove of Rassilon. It's the power glove of Rassilon.
he just had it.
He just did it like, yeah, everything you've done,
was-
bam, fixed.
Again, as I said, they must have known somehow and, you know, gone in with some intention of fixing it.
I don't think they did. Not at all, because they were shocked when the Doctor was the Master is going to take over all of the Time Lords as well.
Well, it's an all-purpose glove then. You know,
It's
capable of fixing anything.
It's a sonic power glove.
It's a sonic glove.
A lot of people, semi-understandably, would have jumped off the show at this point because David Tennant left. And I think this episode does that no favours. I'm not particularly impressed. Again, one of the reasons I give it a lower score is that the way it handles and deals with regeneration.
Right.
Because the whole I don't want to go thing, the whole having a big old tantrum about having to regenerate, the whole some new man goes sauntering away, we don't care about him. I feel like it's telling people to stop. I think it's the wrong way of doing it. I understand from a drama perspective that it's trying to make it more dramatic, trying to make it more important. For me, it's sort of giving you the wrong idea, and it's saying there's no point continuing now because this guy's dead, and we're going to see him again, and well, that's the end. Did you get where I'm coming from with that? And I don't like the tantrum as well. It's just. You've done this 9 times. Like,
but again, it's the whole classic versus new here, because from one perspective, yeah, you're right, but from another, someone who may not, know that stuff was before, which would have been part of who watched new series. That wouldn't be a thing.
Sure, but we're not watching it from that perspective.
That's what I'm saying, is that it wasn't made just for people like us who
but
have
that's
seen all
even
this
more
stuff
of a reason to try and make you more invested in who's coming next. For the people that aren't necessarily aware that this has happened 9 times, or who don't care that this has happened 9 times. It's throwing them off. I'm not worried about the people who are going to stick with the show through whatever regeneration, like us. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care who's playing the Doctor. But people who jumped on with the new series do. And I think a more important thing to do is to reassure them that it's going to be okay. So I really dislike that whole, it's death. It feels like death. I don't want to go.
They literally do
it's
say
not
he's
fair.
gonna die.
Yeah, and he doesn't, because it's not. I get it from a drama. I get it from drama, but it doesn't work for me for the show, and I think it was really harming to the show.
Was it actually?
I think it probably was. Not hugely, but I think it was. A lot of people who dropped off after David Tennant.
There was like an.
There was a drop, and I hear it all the time where people are like, "I stopped watching after David Tennant." I think it was the wrong thing to do from a production, show running perspective.
You are. If there's something I've noticed about you more recently, is that you are going straight in for the thesis analysis angle a little bit.
I'm trying to do it both ways. I don't think it's wrong or right. I think there's advantages and disadvantages of doing it like that. For me, as someone who has seen it, I think the disadvantage is greater than the advantage, because the disadvantage, affects the whole of Doctor Who, whereas the advantage sort of affects one scene in the story. Does that make sense?
Sure. But again, that's... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I don't think it's particularly in character for the Doctor to have a tantrum about it. Again, from the perspective of someone who's seen them all.
I get what you're saying. I don't agree that it's a tantrum, but it is weird in the sense that he's kind of, like kind of dreading it.
It's literally a tantrum. He says, it's not fair, and throws things off a desk.
I don't know if that was to do with specifically regeneration.
Yeah. What else was it for?
Just generally like what I was saying about him feeling almost ashamed of the Time Lords.
But that's for when he's got to save Wilf.
That's when he realizes that's what causes it. Okay, I didn't really connect the two.
You had to go and get stuck inside there, Wilf. It's not fair. So yeah, so lots of things that I still don't like about this part 2.
All right,
but better in general than part 1.
There's, again, it's been such a weird one.
Yeah,
given how different the episodes are and the fact that it's a 2-parter, so it's technically one. I'd be interested to see the two put together. Just watching it as one big thing. The
RTD era as a whole,
it's done.
It's done.
Yeah, I mean,
tell you what a cracking good writer.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he's definitely done some standout ones.
Yeah.
Obviously loves Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Really loves the show. Really digs deep. Couldn't have asked for someone else to bring it back, maybe.
Sure. I mean, some standout stories for me that specifically his are Utopia. And there's others, I'm sure.
Yeah. And he's also done some of your least favourite ones.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's a really, really strong writer. It's like, take the scenes in Rose, for example, where he's introducing characters, no dialogue, just that's the sort of thing that he really excels at, is developing characters by showing rather than telling. And I think Doctor Who in his era is at its best when it's doing that. And it's at its worst when it's not doing that. Hence, the episodes that I really dislike are specifically that, Voyage of the Damned, this. I think those are the only two that he's wrote that I've not liked.
Well, there's still some of the lowest scores you've given, in his era.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Along with Fear. But there's more episodes that I've liked in the era overall than that I've disliked. I think there's more that I've given 10 out of 10 than I've given under a 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is not true for you.
No, I never gave it to
Not a single 10
I just didn't feel it. Although,
so here you are calling me Negative Nancy.
Hold on.
And you're the one that's not giving
negative because I'm not saying that everything's perfect. But having said that, maybe if I was to watch some of them again, like Blink, then maybe I would feel different.
Sure.
Maybe I would see things that actually make me appreciate it more. Because again, the first impressions, while they do matter, aren't everything. Things can change as you go back to them.
But that is, Russell T Davies is the first sort of showrunner, producer that we've not had a 10 out of 10 for since Innes Lloyd, I want to say.
Who was...
producer up until, Enemy of the World. From end of
stuff.
From end of Hartnell to mid Troughton, where I don't think you gave a 10 in that era, but you gave loads of 9s to the Gunfighters.
Again, something I've noticed about this era of Doctor Who is just kind of more consistency. It's just more consistently well done rather than having some amazing highs and some really disastrous lows. It's more level. And it just kind of depends on
Okay.
how much the story.
That's for you. I still think there were those lows though, so like Fear Her, part 1 of this, and
Yeah,
Voyage
I mean-
of the Damned.
Yeah, that Fear Her kind of kicked off me reconsidering what it means to evaluate art.
Sure.
You know, because like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I really just didn't see it as awful. You know.
Fine. I mean, that's fine.
Again, I haven't watched it since, you know, but, you know, I'm not saying it was, like, that great or anything, but it just, like, you know, like, it was just an okay kind of, you know, one-off that had some kind of meaning to it. But anyway, that's, you know, that's the whole other thing.
I'm not sure it did have any meaning to it, but anyway. So, bye to Russell T Davies, bye to David Tennant.
Yes.
And yeah, so end of the sort of 4-year run of stories that have all linked together. Seriously, I don't think there's one story, apart from Rose, that doesn't link to another story in the RTD era in some way.
Right.
Which is
Yeah.
not always a good thing, but an interesting thing.
Well, I mean, that's another thing I've noticed about this one as well is that it all, the fact that the story evidently continues through the episodes.
Yeah.
And there's long-running things rather than a lot of classic Who being, you know, here's a story, here's another story.
Yeah.
And also there's a couple of things to tie it together.
Well, it's the story arcs, which, like, 7 sort of does. Did.
That's, you know, that wasn't a serial. That was the same structure.
Yes, a very similar structure, for sure. Just type in your scores and then we can do a score analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've just updated the score sheet there to get the complete RTD era. And for the last 4 seasons. And I've done the specials separately, as you can see there. So that's from The Next Doctor to End of Time Part 2, not including Dreamland.
Yeah, that's my side.
You're on the left.
I'm generally slightly more positive than you. With a couple of exceptions.
Yeah, over the last 4 seasons and specials, we matched on Series 4, 6.6, and you're higher on all of the others.
Yeah,
still, I think we both have sort of similar overall feelings about the era. Yeah, I think the specials is wildly different because of End of Time. Otherwise, I suspect they would be similar.
They kind of were. We did give some similar scores.
I think I would actually be higher if it wasn't for the End of Time, because I put Waters from Mars higher than you.
Right.
And Planet of the Dead higher than you, I think, as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the End of Time has brought that way, way down for me, which makes sense.
Sure.
But if we average the 10th Doctor, mine's 6.8 out of 10 was the average score I gave for the 10th Doctor's run, and for you it was 6.9.
Yeah.
So
about the same.
Yeah.
A slight downgrade from the last.
And to be honest, about bang average for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Really. Looking at some of those other ones.
Oh, well, it's definitely higher than 6th Doctor.
It's higher than 5th Doctor. It's higher than 1st Doctor.
Oh, by barely.
Barely. Well, yes, but yeah.
It's the exact same as 4th Doctor.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So yeah, sort of in the middle-ish in terms of average score per episode.
Yeah, it is not drastically different from what we've had.
No, I think that sort of fits how I feel about the era as well. It's, you know, it's a great continuation and it fits perfectly well with the rest of Doctor Who.
Yeah, because with the with Series 1, it's like they were bringing it back, so they really brought it all. But then, I guess with this one, it's like, you know, they're just making the show, and so there's not that as much of a focus on, like, okay, we're bringing the show back, you know, but it's like now they're just working on it.
And trying to top themselves every year, which I think was maybe part of an issue.
That's another thing. The finales got more and more just bombastic.
They did.
You know, and yeah, especially contrasting that with the other shows we've watched. It's definitely, you know, I mean, in terms of the spectacle, it's obviously very ambitious and
Yeah.
and sometimes impressive, but it's not. It doesn't always feel the most necessary. Maybe.
Yeah, I definitely think it's very, very structured, the era. You know, certainly, you know, you'd have episode 1, which would probably be an Earth-based story. If you count Christmas Invasion,
you mean-
that's kind of your start of episode 2.
Right.
You go into the future, you go into the past, you have your 2-parter. You know, there's a real rigid sort of structure to this era. And I think after series 3 it started wearing thin.
The repetition kind of sunk in.
By mid series 4 I was sort of waiting for the era to be over. And I was thinking, right, I'm ready for something new now.
Well,
we've got it finally.
Your wish has been granted, probably.
And that's not to say that the individual episodes aren't still good. You know, he's got the library 2-parter at the end of series 4.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Turn Left, Waters of Mars. You know, you've got some individual episodes, but I was just pining for something different, really. By that point.
Yeah, well, that's how you keep the variety of something, is try new things.
Yeah, series 1 works. Let's do it again, but better. You know, it's the rule of 3. You did it 3 times and it worked. Quit while you're ahead, but they didn't. You know, I think it does taper out a little bit.
Do you maybe feel that way because of the way we've been watching it? Because we started series 1, you know, about a year and 2 months ago.
Do you think it's because we're watching them quicker?
We are, you know, we are watching them quite close together.
Maybe that's part of it.
You know, it would have been weekly.
Yeah.
It would have been weekly every episode, so, you know, and then obviously the difference between the actual seasons. So
May well be part of it. But we have Matt Smith to look forward to now. I'm very, very excited for that.
Okay.
We've also got Stephen Moffat.
That's
show
right.
running now.
He's actually in charge of it. So, I mean, yeah, despite what I said earlier, like, it's not like I know that era.
Yeah.
You know, so it's still going to be me kind of going in, you know, kind of like how we have done here, but it's like there are some things I may actually kind of remember. You know?
Sure. We've still got Murray Gold.
Yes, Murray Gold's still doing the music.
Yeah,
that's
continuing.
Yeah, so we got some. We're going back to talking about End of Time Part 2. But yeah, we saw some of the main themes come back. The Doctor's theme and the action theme. You know, it was nice to hear those again. Yeah, but it's like Murray Gold's music. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been very orchestral. You
Yes.
know, that's kind of been the style.
That's, I think, what Russell T Davies wanted. You know, when he was like sort of from his producer, because he does 2 jobs. He's a writer. He writes episodes, but he's also the producer.
Yes.
So it is an interesting thing where there is 2 sides to the one job, and he of course has loads of assistants helping him, and it's wrong to.
No, he's not doing literally everything.
It's really wrong to blame basically anything on him, although he'll sign everything off. But not everything bad is his fault, and not everything good is because of him. And I think it's really wrong to say things like that.
We were saying earlier that we appreciate everyone in the credits.
Exactly, absolutely. What was the point?
Yeah.
So that was
Murray
the thing.
Gold.
That was the thing that Russell T Davies, I think, wanted to do an orchestral soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because we want to make it as a serious drama. Don't do any weird Tristram Carey on the. What's the instrument called? That stupid one with the stylus, a stylophone. We're not going to have Tristram Carey on the stylophone. It's an electronic one where you press the stylus and it's like a keyboard and it goes, which is the exact soundtrack. I just did. That was the soundtrack to the Sea Devils. If you couldn't guess right there. Yeah, I love Murray Gold. I love Murray Gold.
Yeah, he does really, really good. Really good job with it. It's not always as like distinct as, you know, Dudley Simpson stuff that we've had in the past, but it's still really good in its own way.
You say that. Well, yes, if you by distinction.
Unique,
city.
actually, maybe. Is what I meant to say.
Yes. Yeah. It's not as he's not got a style so much as other composers do. It's more just some orchestral music.
Yeah.
But I think it's there's themes there that you certainly know. When you hear the Cybermen theme, you're like, that's the Cybermen theme.
Yeah.
When you hear the Doctor's theme in this, you picked up it straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, well, that's through actual, having things wicked.
yeah. And they used it at the right time, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some sound editing. I don't think he decides when the music happens. I think he just composes, this might work, for things like that.
Well, it does work.
It absolutely does.
I think that does it. This discussion has been almost as long as the episode itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It always is when it's the end of a Doctor, and it's not just the end of a Doctor, it's also the end of a showrunner.
yes,
Which
absolutely.
we've only had once before, and that was in Survival.
Yeah, well, that was the end of Doctor Who as I knew it.
Yeah.
As, maybe. Or at least...
Without giving too
not
much
for-
away, this is effectively a soft reset as well.
Ah, okay.
So, yeah. Coming up for us then, for ourselves, we are moving house, so
Yeah, that's happening.
we'll probably just not watch for a while. I don't know how long, or maybe it'll be just happen but more sporadic. We may be able to watch in our new place, we're not sure. We might
we've
still
got-
be able to watch here, possibly.
Yeah, there's always some things.
Assuming we can do it, gonna just move straight on and straight into Matt Smith, I think.
Okay,
If you're
well,
happy with that.
well, we've got some special features to finish for series 4.
Oh, I'm talking about videos.
Oh, videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be continuing into Matt Smith.
I think we're just going to go straight on into Matt Smith and also continuing with The Prisoner.
Yes. That's definitely that. I'm starting to miss that shit, honestly.
Yes, me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
it's
I
been
really
so
want
long
to get back
since
into
we
it.
watched it. Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you for Matt Smith and Series 5.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we absolutely will.
Outro.
Outro.